Welcome back to the Hot Heel Girl podcast. Um, we are talking all things fall today because if you don't follow Courtney,
Called out.
she she has been in full fall mode basically since the beginning of August. Me, not so much. I am still full summer over here. I'm a summer
Yeah,
girly. I refuse to give it up, but also it's still 100 degrees. So I
it's
just can't
different.
commit to fall yet.
I live in the world of always being torn because I do love summer. Like summer is the best. I love the sunshine. I love being outside and getting to like go to the beach and all of that. But I also love fall. So like this is the period of time where I don't know what to do. So you just got to pick one and commit it.
Yeah,
Like
I can't commit to fall around here usually until like honestly the middle to the end of September because it's too hot.
yeah, that's way
Can't do
different.
it.
I usually wait till September, but this time I was just feeling, the need for a little bit of dopamine for all my decorations. Dopamine decorations are a thing, things that just make you happy. Um, yeah, and every single time I go to like Marshalls or Home Goods, because we did only move in here a month ago. So slowly, like sometimes the things we want aren't at Marshalls, whatever. So I still go there all the time. And like when they're putting up the pumpkins, I'm like, ooh, maybe it's time for me. I can't. And also, I think like obviously consumerism culture, they want to make the most of everything, but it makes it challenging when like the Sweet Loren's pumpkin spice cookies were in my Target for legitimately 3 days and then they sold out. And that was in the middle of August. So like maybe they'll come back, but what if they don't? Did you just have to be looking for pumpkin spice in August?
I guess you have to order online. I don't
Yeah, they
know.
do. They do have that. I just follow one girl who does like pumpkin reviews on TikTok, and she said she used to be gluten free, and she's like, "I love these," and I was like, "Ooh, I have to try those," because the Sweet Loren's cookies are like they're okay in terms of ingredients. Like they're just fine. If you want a pre-cut, don't want to make your own cookies, they're not a bad option. They do have, I think it's canola oil or whatever. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. I'm not concerned. I'm excited to have pumpkin spice cookies that I don't have to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I can't get behind the pumpkin spice releasing the first day of August. I'm
that
sorry.
no, I'm not in disagreement because I got two packages. So funny story, Dan, it was a Friday night and Dan's like, why don't I go see if they're at our Target? Because if you look on their store locator, they were supposed to be only at the one Target 10 minutes away.
Hmm.
And he was like, I'll go look. And he looks and he's like, they're definitely not there. The Pillsbury pumpkin ones were out. I saw the Sweet Lorenz ones, the chocolate, the brownie ones, like they're just not there. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then the next day we go out and we start walking down the aisle and he's like, what the fuck? Literally one day later. And I was like, whatever. So we got two and we froze one and we ate the other. But I'm like, yeah, so now at least I can have one in October because we froze the one. And then
Hmm.
3 days later, they were gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chaos.
I just
You
I'm not that into, yeah, I'm not that dedicated, I guess.
I mean, I'm not that dedicated. It was really serendipitous. I found her TikTok like that day. And then, like I said, it's only 10 minutes away. And he was like, I'll get them because he's just so cute. But
It
the
was
next
just
day,
meant for you.
it was clearly meant to be.
Clearly.
But, and that's why I was like, we have to get two, right? And he's like, of course you do. And it says that you can freeze them, which is obviously amazing because now I'll actually get one when they're in season.
Yeah, 4 months of pumpkin. Like, we don't even have 4 months of technical summer, so 4 months of pumpkin is just too
You
much
have
for me.
12 months of summer. Let's not like lie about it.
No, we have 11 and we have January. January or February. Although this year they're predicting, Farmer's Almanac is predicting an extra cold winter, so like that's fun. So hopefully it's not a repeat of 2021 freeze out. So we'll see. We'll
That was
see how they
chaos.
direct the weather this winter.
We were texting about how like we think they control the weather. And I'm
They
saying that
100% too. Go look at the DOD's release that they released 3 months ago. It's in there.
because I was saying, okay, maybe they can't control all the weather, but they, at the very least, like we have had the historically one of the rainiest, cloudiest summers ever.
Hmm.
Like I'm pretty pale for me in the summer. Like I have not gotten enough sun because it's been so cloudy and so rainy. And I'm like, at the very least, we know that they can make clouds. I could make a cloud in my freaking bathroom if I wanted to. Like, they can make clouds, they can make rain, anyways. And we know vitamin D makes people happy. So call me conspiracy theorist if you will, but I really think that they're just trying to control like us getting the sun because, anywho.
Whereas us, our sun has been cooking us all summer
Yeah, and
long.
so much that you're going to be inside, you're not even going to want to be in the sun, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to do the same thing, just different ways.
Yeah. It would be like totally abnormal if we were like people would really question, I think, if Texas was cloudy and rainy all summer, because that's just not like hot. They're like, okay, yeah, this happens.
But it's super abnormal here too. Like, not to say that we don't get any rain showers at all, but it has been like every single week. There have been 2 to 3 days every week. That's so excessive.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in within 2 hours of the same place my whole life. Like, I've lived in a 2 hour radius my whole life. The weather's always been fucking similar. I've never had this cloudy or rainy of a summer.
Yep. Same. Well, with the heat anyway.
Yeah, chaos. But so I'm already in full-fledged fall. Well,
She is. She's
that's
in her
also
little
part of
pumpkin
it. Like,
cave.
I had almost no reason to like want the summer to keep going because it's been a shitty fucking rainy summer. So you might as well give me fall.
Yeah, I guess the rain feels like fall vibes. I mean, me on Monday, because we had like a tropical storm, but basically it just rained a little bit. And I'm like, oh, it's below 80 degrees. It's like Christmas is coming.
That's so funny.
It hasn't been in the 70s since like probably May. So
So have you
it's
ever owned
so
a pair of
nice.
Uggs? Like, there's literally zero need for you to have Uggs.
I owned like the duck boots, and then I had like a
I
pair
still
of,
have my duck boots.
yeah, like they were very similar to Uggs, but they're called mini Tonkas. And
Okay.
so they were
Yeah.
just
I
they're
have,
like, yeah.
yeah, I have Minnetonka moccasins, so I get
Hmm.
it.
Yeah. Because when it does get cold here, like it's a damp cold, so it is cold, like your feet will get really cold. So like
So the duck
I
boots are
just,
great, is what you're
yes.
telling me, because those are
Yeah.
like waterproof. Those are the
Hmm.
best.
Hmm. Yeah, that's why I own those because yeah, usually when it gets cold, it's always wet. So you have to slop around in the water. And I don't like my feet to be cold because when my feet get cold, that's when all of me gets cold.
I'm trying to slowly creep moderately, not north, but like north from where we are. Like, I went to school in Newark and then I moved 20 minutes north to Wilmington and now I'm 20 minutes north in PA because Delaware is known for the winters are not snowy. You get snow like 3 times a year. It is just cold rain. It's going to be like 35 to 40 and rainy, which I would rather snow. Personally, as someone who grew up with snow, I would rather nothing than cold rain. Cold rain's the worst. You can't even
Hmm.
enjoy it. So I'm
Yep.
like, we're just going to slowly creep a little bit more north. So it's like 1 degree off, 1 degree off, and like we'll get to away from the cold rain.
How far north are we talking?
I
How
mean,
far
I'm not
north
going
do
to go
you
as
have
far
to
north
go?
as you want. I'm probably like going to go PA, maybe New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not going as far north as you. Well, actually, Dan and I were talking about taking a fall trip. We totally might because we haven't taken a road trip together in a while. We went to Pittsburgh the one time, which is a 5 hour drive from here or from where we were, but that was years ago. We haven't really taken like a road trip longer
Hmm.
than 2 hours, 3 hours. So I'm like, why don't we go experience the fall? I haven't been to any of those places up north because I feel like the fall was never a time to take a family vacation. Like, you're in school, you're starting sports, all that stuff. So like
Hmm.
we never, I mean, we had plenty of great fall foliage, but we never went to like Vermont, New York, New Hampshire, like up there, even
I mean, if
Massachusetts.
I was you, I would absolutely be doing a fall road
I know
trip.
we're thinking about it, but the problem is like it's already a little late to book some of the places. Like
Mm,
for so
yeah,
we'll see. We're gonna look while we're on vacation next week.
there you go.
I'm excited because I really want to go.
You know, I want to go, and I
I
don't
know
even
you
live
want to
up
go,
there.
but yeah, because well, depending on where we go, it would be like 6-ish hours of a drive or like 5 hours, which is not that bad. If we go to Massachusetts, like 5 hours. If we go to Vermont, it's like 6. Well, It depends on the part of Vermont, but the part of Vermont I'm looking at would be like 6.
Hmm. Yeah, Instagram is algorithming me with all of the fall. Like
Same.
this little fall town, this little fall town. I'm like, all right, I got it.
We could drive together if you want to fly here. No, you told me the flights are like the same
The
price.
f- yeah, yeah. I was looking at flights. They're probably more pricey now, honestly, that it's getting closer.
Yeah.
I think the cheapest flight was like the weekend after Labor Day weekend, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know how much fall foliage you have by that point.
Up there might be some, but it's not going to be as much. Like we're trying to
Hmm.
go. Well, I wanted to go in the end of September, but we just realistically can't make it happen because we have a busy September. So I'm like, October, here we go.
Yeah,
And that's
I feel
also
like
going to be
October is
busy.
peak.
I know. I know. I used to always just drive to my parents' house and then I'd get to see all the foliage and we do the apple picking and like pumpkin picking and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's not that those things aren't here. It's just the leaves turn for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like you don't get the same experience, which is what I live for.
Yeah, we don't have that experience at all. So,
At least I get some of it.
oh well, yep. But you're
Like
also going to a mushroom festival, you told me.
I am. So if you know, I mean, a lot of people actually know what Kennett is, Kennett Square, because it is the mushroom capital of the world. It's where like I think it's like 60% of the mushrooms like consumed in the US are made like in Kennett. It's something stupid. And so every year I'm always like, I want to go to the mushroom festival. And I always forget when it is. And I always look in October, which is silly because it's always in September. And then a year passes and I forget again. And then I look in October. This happened every single year. And I finally looked 2 weeks ago and I was like, oh my God, we're going to the mushroom festival. So I'm super excited. I don't really know what it entails at all. I feel like a lot of it's more food grade mushrooms than medicinal mushrooms, but like, who cares? It's all fun.
Hmm. Hopefully, there will be some medicinal mushrooms, though. I feel like they're popular enough now that you would think they would
I mean,
include.
they have like lots of booths and stuff, but the booths aren't all like mushroom based people. It's just people who are like
See,
on
that's
a
where you gotta go and take your king,
take my king, be like,
sign up
these
everybody
are,
for the weekend.
it would probably work. Medicinal mushrooms, but so I'm excited just because. And one other thing about Kennett on New Year's Eve, they don't have like a ball drop, they have a mushroom drop. I wish I was
I
joking.
like that.
Again, I've never been to that either, but I've known about all these things because it's like always been like only 20 minutes from me.
I would prefer a mushroom drop to a ball drop, I think. So, I mean, I'm about it.
I know. I'm like, wow, how interesting. Literally, you Google mushroom capital of the world, and it's like a small town, Kennett Square in PA. And I'm like, yeah. Well, it's funny because when I went to college, we were 20 minutes from Kennett, and there'd be like one day a month where it would smell like absolute trash on campus, like literal garbage. And you're like, what's happening? And it's because the mushroom trucks would be transporting that day, and the smell was so potent that like that's what it was.
And
I'm not even joking because everyone just
no, I
knew it was
believe
the
you.
mushroom trucks.
I believe you. Because when farmers here grow like cabbage, when it's like cabbage season and they're out picking all the
Smell.
cabbage, it smells like farts outside.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So
you'd walk
bad.
out on campus and smell it and be like, oh, and then you'd be like, guess it's the one day a month, it's the mushrooms.
Hmm.
It's so weird. Such like bizarre shit, but whatever. I get to go to the mushroom festival. I know I was texting you about it. I was like, I just wanted to tell you because I know you'll be excited for me. I'm going to a mushroom festival.
I am excited for you.
Mushroom festival. Other fall things. I don't know. Do you even have like, can you pumpkin pick down there? Do pumpkins grow?
They do grow. Usually they're you want to harvest them though, like before October. They grow a lot better in West Texas than they do down here. If you grow them down here, they're too early to like pick in October.
Mm-hmm.
So they have more of that like central upper Texas where you can actually go pick them, but they do have a lot of pumpkin patches. So you can get pumpkins. Just can't go out in the field and pick them, which is kind of sad.
Um, what type of like produce do you have that you can pick your own around you? Like what
Um,
grows? Yeah.
I
What's like
mean, we grow a lot of stuff here, but it's like it's a big agricultural area. Um, like where I live, pretty much surrounded by agricultural fields. In the wintertime, I would say like really the only thing that you could like pick, and I don't even think anybody does this, but we grow a lot of citrus here. So like
That
grapefruit,
makes sense.
oranges, like you have all that in the wintertime.
That makes
Um,
sense.
during the summertime, it's cotton and like grains and stuff like that. So
Yay.
yeah, you're not picking that. But they do grow a lot of vegetables in the wintertime, but yeah, it's not like any small farms really, although there is. And we went and met the owners. They did like a little market a couple weeks ago, but they're like 10 minutes from our house, and I'm so excited about this. But they're doing basically like a pick your own farmers market type thing. So
That's
they
fun.
bought like a ton of acres, and they're already like farmers. That's what they do. So they're familiar with the process, but they bought like this really good plot of land, like right next to a major highway. So they're in a really good spot, but it's kind of going to be like a grow your own and then also like a pick your own. So you can either drive through and then like drive through their farmers market, and like the associate will fill you up with your veggies, or you can get out and pick what you want. And then they're going to do something where you can like rent a little garden plot, and they'll like plant it and maintain it for you. And then you get to just come and pick the vegetables.
That's really fun. It's like
Yeah.
similar to a farm share, except like they'll like plant them for you.
Yeah, yeah. And I
That's
think they're
neat.
still going to do kind of like that farm share type thing, like for the
Mhm.
people that don't want to do that. But
Yeah.
like if there's somebody that, like wants to do it, and then they're also hoping to do like stuff with like schools, and so they can do field trips and
Oh, that's
like
so fun.
actually learn about that. But yeah, their plan is to do like a big farmers market type thing. And then they're also wanting to build like an outdoor playground area and have like a coffee shop and then maybe like a little food truck.
So are you gonna
So
move in?
I basically, yeah,
I'm like, so the homestead starting there, right? Like,
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. We went, they started like a monthly farmers market type thing just to kind of start bringing
yeah.
awareness to the concept, even though they don't have, like, they can't, they'll basically be planting this month, I think, like getting everything ready to plant because
Hmm.
it's not too hot to plant before that. But yeah, so we went and out there just to kind of see what was going on and talk to the owners, and they're really nice. So we're really
That's
excited
super
for that.
exciting. Like as a kid, did you ever like go to like a pick your own farm and like,
In my backyard.
well, for me to explain, like we go apple picking every year,
Yeah.
every fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would like on vacation because there really just wasn't anything down
Oh,
here. So like I don't know if you saw my stories this past weekend. I got the apple ice cream. Um
I must have missed it.
yeah,
I did have
any
a nice hiatus, so that's probably part of it.
there you go. But yeah, so when we would go camping as a kid, our apple season here is like right now.
Hmm.
And so there was this like little apple store in this tiny, tiny town, and that's like their whole thing
Love that.
is just apples, and then they'll do like the pumpkins and the berries and stuff when the weather's more applicable. But yeah, that's what we would do. So we would go do the apple picking there.
That's
And
so fun.
like if we were in the area in the right times, we would do the berry picking. But yeah, not around here. There was never
That's still fun that
anything
you
to
like
do
have a
that.
good memory of like your vacations being like that.
Hmm. Yeah. But I
Heck,
have
I'm
plenty
still a
of memories
child.
of picking stuff in my gardens.
I mean, I only have memories of apple and berry picking. Like, well, actually, my cousin had like raspberries in their backyard. I remember us doing that once, but that was it.
Yeah,
What a wild thing.
my aunt in Minnesota still has, I don't know, had a fabulous raspberry patch. So I have memories of when we would be up there. But those raspberries, the best raspberries in the world.
I just love apple picking it. Like it's when it feels like fall. And so my favorite apples that I love are Macintosh. I'm just a big Macintosh gal, and it's always the third weekend in September in New Jersey. So I don't know about here. That's when they were always ripe. So I would always go home for my dad's birthday, which happens to be the third weekend in September. And then we'd go apple picking and we'd get the Macintosh because they were just perfectly ripe. Because
Hmm.
obviously any of those places can get overpicked. Like you can just so quickly, it can be out.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, the place we went to, they had probably like 6 or 7 different varieties,
Mm.
7 to 10, depending on the year. This year I was really sad because I'd never taken Reed there. And so I wanted to take him there. I was like, we're gonna go get apples, but I was
You.
unsure if they were gonna have apples because of how
Yeah.
dry it's been, and they didn't. Like they didn't like they weren't even letting people go out there because they're like the ones we
Oh,
have, they're just like really not
yeah.
sellable apples. So that was kind of sad, but
The one thing that
like
was wild during COVID, during 2020, quite literally, like I went to go apple picking, and then the third week in September, almost all of them were picked because they're like, yeah, we've just had more people come than ever. And I'm like, I love that you all love apple picking as much as me now, but if quite less of you could come, I would feel much happier that I could get my apples. Yeah, because it was just like, yeah, no one had anything to do. So what can you do in social distance? You can go pick on a huge ass farm.
mhm. The pros and the cons to 2020.
It was a wild time.
The pros is people avoided me in the grocery store. The cons, the outdoors was full.
And I'm like, I'm an outdoor girl, not like crazy outdoorsy, but like we spend a decent amount of time going on walks outside. And I'm like, what are you people doing here?
I know. Go back in your house.
I'm like, what are you doing in my apple orchard? And again, like I've been going all these years. So like I do know that like there are some weekends where it is packed and stuff like that. But like the
Hmm.
third weekend in September, like I said, that's when the Macintosh are good, but it's usually like not even close to overpicked because it's just like very early. It's usually still hot in September earlier on. So people aren't exactly going apple picking yet.
Yeah.
What was happening? Oh, I went nuts. I was like, stay out of my orchard. No, it's fine. We can share.
Um,
But that requires them leaving some for me. Yeah. So what town is TikTok or Instagram telling you about that I should go to?
I think I sent you the first one, and then they were
Yeah,
like,
Woodstock, Vermont. I saw that
yeah,
one.
and then they were like Boston,
Yeah.
and I think I saw one in New York, but I don't remember the town.
I saw a couple of those. I am debating between doing Boston and then just like hitting Salem, Massachusetts for literally a day because everyone says it's like chaos and packed there. Or if we do Vermont, where it's like way more outdoorsy, way less people.
Hmm.
Because I've been to Boston before, but actually, I don't think Dan has. I've been to Boston like 5 times before or something. Not like a lot, but he's never been. So I'm like, but is this the time we want to go?
Yeah, I feel like for a fall vacation, me personally, I would prefer us like a small town
That's what I'm
or
saying,
like
but it
an
is an hour
area with,
further.
yeah,
So
an area with small towns. I don't know. Anymore, I'm just like not realizing I'm not a big city vacationer.
I
Not
don't
at all.
I like the cities that I've gone to, but a lot of other cities don't appeal to me. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, I also go to cities like to see baseball games and like on trips where people have like work trips or like I have an event, but I don't, if we're going on vacation, like I'm not usually going to a city.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
go to the beach on vacation, we go ski on vacation.
Hmm.
So that's the thing. I've been to Vermont a billion times in my life because we always ski in Vermont, but I've never been in the fall.
I mean, from what TikTok shows me,
Yeah, what TikTok's showing us,
it
amazing.
looks amazing. Yeah.
Which, yeah, I could see that. We could just go all the time in the winter because it's just the best skiing. But
I've
now
never
I'm
been
like,
skiing.
I mean, that makes sense. You do live in Texas.
Hmm.
Like Vermont has like some of the biggest mountains on the East Coast, not even some
Hmm.
of the biggest mountains on the East Coast. So that's why we would always, for my parents' house, was only a 4 hour drive, which is totally worth it for like significantly larger mountains and more space and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, shit, do we go to Vermont? It's only a 6 hour drive. It's not that bad.
I'll be on the edge of my seat wherever you
I
go.
know.
And I expect
I think it also depends on like Airbnbs and hotels and like where we can stay.
you're just gonna have to be like FaceTiming me while you walk around.
Dan's gonna be
Take
like,
me along with
can
you.
you pay attention to me?
Have you seen the reels where it's like the friend, like the couple, and it's like it's you and me and you and us and your friend Steve, and
Yeah.
it's like the
Do,
third
do,
wheel
do,
that's
do, and
always
your
there.
friends too. Yeah. It's
So we
always so
call we
fun.
call Reed's best friend. He's our Steve because he's always there.
Hey, someone needs one. Everyone needs one. That's so funny.
Uh,
You're like, it's just like all these pictures, you and Reed and like him in the background.
yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. We don't
Honestly,
have
I
that.
told Reed, I was like, all of your friends are freaking Steve's because none of them have girlfriends. Like,
I know you're
what is
waiting
up
for
with
it. You're
this?
like, date people that I like.
Yeah. That's what I told him too, because his two of his friends came down this past weekend on Saturday and did the river float with us. And I told him, I was like, y'all better date girls that I get along with, okay? Still not convinced that they're ever gonna get girlfriends, but we'll see.
My best friend, like I said, we don't see each other that often, but when we do, like Dan's obviously always there because always for big weekends. And she's like,
Mhm.
no, my boyfriend has to get along with him. And she's like started seeing someone seriously now. And we met him once for like an hour. So I'm like, I don't feel like we have a good gauge, but she's coming on our vacation. So I'm like, this is the test. This is a test if we can all hang. But she's
Mhm.
like, no, he like really reminds me of Dan. And I'm like, everyone says their boyfriend reminds them of Dan. Why? Because they're all quiet, sporty guys. That's all you need to remind of Dan.
Well,
Not Reed. Not Reed.
he's not. Nope. Nope. Quiet does not describe that man.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We need the
Agitated,
yin and the yang.
loud, aggressive.
Agitated. What a first word.
He's always moving. Like we'll be sitting on the couch watching a show and he's like playing with the cords on the blinds and like
That's so
back here
funny.
doing this and like petting my plants and it's like never still. It's insane.
Wait till you have kids. He'll
That's
be
what
the
I keep
energy for them. It'll work
I
out.
yeah, but what if they get his energy and then it's just like
That's
all of
Russian roulette,
these
baby. That's
all
what
of
you
these
take when you marry
balls of
them.
energy in my house. I'm gonna yeet someone off the balcony.
You did marry him, so you did know that was a possibility.
I know.
I understand. I was actually at Hobby Lobby the other day and I was like, I am going to have a mini me. Like, I know I'm going to have a mini me and we're going to like walk around and go to all the stores for all the decorations. She's going to be like, Mom, can we go to Michael's and look at the decorate? Like, she's going to ask to go to Target and I just know it. Like, I know I'm going to have a little, when are we going apple picking? And I'm going to be like, this is just my best life. This is it.
Yeah.
That's,
See, I want a girl if they have kids. Like I want her to look like Reed, but my personality, or like I guess a combo of my personality, but a little more on the chill side than him. But he wants
valid.
boys, and I'm like, I don't think I can handle boys with your personality because I've heard the stories from your mom, and she had two of you, so I
I
I don't think I can handle that. Just like emotionally,
know it's
no,
cliche, but I want a boy and a girl. I want a
yeah,
boy and a girl.
I
I want a mini me. I want a mini me. And like, I ain't opposed to having a boy. I'd love a boy so Dan could get someone to fucking play sports with. Not that his girl can't play sports with, because that's literally what I did with my dad, but whatever.
mhm. Yeah, I feel like girls are just like so much more able to be well-rounded. Not that you can't make boys well-rounded, but girls are just more
I
open-minded.
feel like you need to really like dig into that a little bit. What do you mean by well rounded?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like girls are just more willing to do a variety of things. I don't know, which is funny because I always, like up until a couple of years ago, I always wanted a boy. Like I
I
just wanted boys. I don't know what changed my mind, but
want a boy and a girl. I think I want two kids, but we'll see when we have children. That ain't
I think I
happening.
just want one. But then I'm also like thinking about me and I'm like,
I mean, you were an only child, so you have the perfect
yeah, I'm like, I think I would want to give him a
example.
sibling because as much as I enjoyed being an only child when I was little, now I wish I had a sibling. So yeah, I think I would go for two.
I'm like also not anti three because I was the third child and I was not planned.
Hmm.
So like that's why I can't be anti three because then there would be no me. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
little mini miracles, mini blessings, whatever.
yeah. The kids that I babysat, there was three of them, and I feel like they bickered a lot because
Three's a lot.
it was always the first two against the baby. or like the two boys against the girl.
Yeah, three's a lot of energy and a lot of different personalities. So like again, I'm not anti three, but I don't think I want three.
Yeah.
And at this, my parents used to always say that like it was hard if they would go to amusement parks or places because like you only have so many. Like if one kid is in your arms, then like you only have one kid. Like what? Then the other person has to have a hand for either child. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you needed either some like a grandma to come help. Like each person had one child, or just to be very on your toes.
Yeah. I think about that a lot too.
They always
Like,
said that.
I feel like you would have to either like have the third one a lot later than the first two. I don't know. So the other ones are a little bit older. I
Yeah, I
guess
don't
you figure
know.
it out. People clearly
They did
figure it
have,
out.
I mean, a lot of people have three kids. They did have my grandma come with us a lot on trips. Like that's also why we'd like rent a beach house because then it was easier, more laid back. My grandma would come. So they were like, or if they wanted to go on a date night, she could babysit us, like all the above. Everyone eyes on a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That sounds
Anyway.
there are some people in my life who are pregnant. So it's just like getting an up close and personal like look. I'm like, shit, it's gonna be crazy. Okay. How do you feel about this fall episode? I'm going to be doing fall reviews, by the way. I'm going to be doing pumpkin reviews for all the things that I can eat. I'm not even joking because the girl that I like does them on TikTok, but she just does regular stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to do them all gluten free, dairy free for the people out there that need it, AKA me.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Do it.
I'm going to do the Sweet Lorenz again with my second package.
The algorithm will love it. I'm
I
sure
will
the
love
algorithm will show it to me.
Good. It better. You're on fall talk.
I don't think I am, but anyway, I gotta go.
You're good. Yeah.
So, where can the people find you?
At the Rooted in Health everywhere. Stay tuned for my fall, reviews. We can't wait. What about you?
You can find me at Emily Joy Wellness and also everywhere. I don't know if you will see fall reviews from me. Probably not.
You should do
I maybe if I find some stuff, I may do some fall reviews. But yeah, if you like this podcast, if you like fall, if you like pumpkins,
if you
drop
like
us a
lemon.
review. If you like our puppy dogs, my puppy dogs. Courtney has
Little
pumpkins,
sneak.
I have puppies.
I want a dog. I'm just waiting until we have a house. Anywho.
Anyway, leave us a review, leave us a rating, and follow us on Instagram. We will see you in the next episode.